you've been paying attention, you may have noticed that I'm not in my Trooper. I am in 2019 Ford Ranger, and it is mine. I just bought it 2 nights ago.
To give you an idea of just how new this truck is to me, I left on this trip with just 69 miles on the odometer. At this point in the journey, I have about 175 on it. This is an XL base model truck that I ordered with the factory locking differential. I did not get the XLT or Lariat higher end models, and I also did not opt for the FX4 off-road package, which also include an extra skid plate and terrain management and trail control. But I should note that even the XL model does seem to have a very limited traction control system in low range. I should also add that I'm not using the locking differential yet, as I figured it would be best to push the truck until I actually needed it. And it's been doing great so far. I also have not lowered the tire pressure at all. This truck is completely bone stock, other than the tires, which are the same Cooper ST Max 32-inch tires that were on my Trooper. I had actually been planning a long trip with my Trooper for this time frame, but due to some unforeseen events, I was unable to take it at the last minute. Luckily, I took delivery of my Ranger the day before, so I decided to go ahead and do a shorter trip with this as its initial break-in. The only real plan I set for this was to meet a few friends at a cabin in Ridgeway in a few nights, so not looking to get into anything crazy on this trip, but just have some fun and see what this little truck is capable of.
My tent that I haven't used in a long time, I pulled out and the rainfly was not in the bag, so kind of living on the edge right now, hoping for no rain. I got really lucky last night, and where I camped, the rain had come through earlier. Everything was wet, but the sky was absolutely clear. Beautiful night, so couldn't have asked for anything better as far as that goes. But if I get into rain again, I'm a little screwed because my tent is just open mesh. Not really a lot I can do. So we stopped on what is, I believe, an old marble mine. There's some old structures and some pretty cool looking caves. It's actually pretty solid. cool. What do you think, dude? Is this our new home? Wanna move in? You ready to move in, pal? Oh, buddy. Oh, I don't think Seamus is ready to settle down yet. So I've got some really good news. I came out of the trail I was on into the town of Salida, which is a beautiful old historic town, by the way. Filled up with fuel, and I stopped by a mountain sports store and was able to get a tarp and some paracord to use as a rainfly for my tent. I hope it works. I don't see any reason why it won't. It should be big enough. So now we don't have to worry about rain, which is looking very likely right now. The skies are quite gray and dark, and it looks like they're only getting darker as I'm climbing back up the mountains.
I had already covered a lot of ground for the day, and as the skies darkened ahead of me, I figured it would be best to start to look for a spot to camp for the night.
So I dove into the world of bushcraft because I have no rainfly for my tent, so I made it work. Here's my bushcraft. All right, fine. Not that impressive, but I think this whole thing is pretty cool. Most important part of any camping trip is picking the mosquitoes out of your coffee in the morning. Oh, that's fantastic. What are you doing? breakfast right here. Pancake with peanut butter and a nice hot cup of coffee. Wouldn't be a trip through the Colorado mountains without cows on the road.
Everything about this trip had been so last minute up to this point, I was still having to work around changing plans. The friends I was meeting had pushed everything forward, which meant I now had to be in Durango this evening, where I originally thought I was going to have a whole other night to camp. This meant I had a lot of driving to do, but that didn't stop me from having a little fun along the way. I'd spotted a waterfall off in the distance, and then found a road heading in the general direction, so of course I decided to take it.
I was hoping this is going to go over towards the waterfall, but it's just a little campsite here. Still a very nice campsite though. That's pretty deep, huh? There you go. You'd never believe that's an 8-year-old dog, would you?
After getting back on the main road, I came across another turnoff. I decided this one certainly had to go to the waterfall, so I took it. And this time I was in luck. If you ever happen to come across this trail, take note it's completely lined with stinging nettle plants, so make sure you're fully clothed as you walk along it, because what's at the end is definitely worth the hike. Been winding through, I don't know what we've been winding through. We've been driving down a canyon for a while, and now we are climbing up a
hill, and it's starting to look like the San Juan Mountains. It's starting to look like it. Speaking of which, getting fairly close to Lake City. Lake City, which is known for, if you haven't been there, it's known for the Aloha Moose restaurant, which is famous for incredible meals such as burnt nachos. That's all I have to say about Lake City. We're about to get there, and then I'm going to figure out how to get to Durango. I think that's what's happening. So let's go.
Well, I'd had enough fun in the dirt for a couple days, so now it was time to jump on the highway. That's it for my camping this time, but at least I still had a couple days to spend in a wonderful mountain home with some good old friends.